During the 14th century, the Kingdom of Mali was ruled by Mansa Abu Bakr II. He was the ninth Mansa of Mali. At the time, the Kingdom of Mali was one of, if not the largest kingdoms on the continent of Africa. Details about the life of Abu Bakr II are unknown except for reports from the Arab historian Al Umari. Al Umari learned about Abu Bakr's life during a conversation with Abu Bakr's brother and successor, Mansa Musa. Now, many of us know that Mansa Musa is recorded as the richest man in history. Now, the term Mansa simply means ruler or king. For instance, Mansa Musa, Mansa Abu. Again, it's a title, it's not a name. The historian learned that Abu Bakr was interested in exploring what was on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, which bordered his country to the west. Mansa Abu Bakr II's adventurous spirit consumed him. Confident he could complete the mission to the other side of the ocean, the king then summoned shipping engineers from Lake Chad to build ships with strong construction to cross the Atlantic, fulfilling his great desire. According to Al Umari's account, as told to him by Mansa Musa, Abu Bakr prepared 200 ships to sail across the Atlantic to learn about what existed on the other side of the ocean. Mansa Abu Bakr II's fleet was strengthened by tough sailors, traders, engineers, and builders, creative artists, brave warriors, and intellectuals. Keep in mind that Mali at that time was they had one of the leading educational systems in the world, with institutions like Timbuktu, the Timbuktu University, which still stands to this day. The ships were stocked with gold, water, food, and enough essential items to last quite a few years. Mansa Abu Bakr II ordered his crew not to return to Mali unless they had found the far side of the Atlantic Ocean, or had run out of food, water, and supplies, or had exhausted all of their resources. Several years passed before any of the boats from the voyage returned. Only one captain with one ship arrived back to Mali out of the 200 ships that were released on the voyage. When questioned, the captain of the ship reported how many of the ships and crew were pulled into the currents and disappeared from view due to violently flowing currents. He further explained how he narrowly escaped being drowned by a massive whirlpool and was able to sail home. Undeterred by the failure on the first mission, Mansa Abu Bakr II did not give up. In fact, he doubled down on his efforts to succeed. He then began to prepare another more powerful and larger fleet and declared to make the journey himself. Abu Bakr loaded 2,000 ships for the voyage. The second fleet consisted of 1,000 ships carrying crew members and himself, as well as 1,000 other ships which carried supplies including trade materials, crops, animals, and gold, which was an abundant resource at the time. It was a national treasure in the Kingdom of Mali. They were now ready to set sail and explore the far side of the Atlantic Ocean. Before leaving his kingdom, Mansa Abu Bakr II placed his brother Mansa Musa in charge of the kingdom. Mansa Musa, who was also known as an adventurer. Mansa Musa's Hajj pilgrimage journey from Mali to Mecca was legendary. He journeyed to Mecca, and on the way, he stopped in Egypt, and in the process, he bankrupted the economy for 12 years because of all the gold that he flooded into the markets of Egypt. Mansa Musa was so rich that his slaves were adorned in gold. Keep in mind that slavery in Africa was not chattel slavery. It was more like prison, and you actually had the possibility of being freed after a certain amount of time. So it wasn't a situation where you were a slave and your children were slaves and all the generations before them were slaves. No, that was not that was not chattel slavery. Let's just be honest. That chattel slavery was an American institution, and the slaves there, they could actually marry into the royal family after a certain amount of time served. So many times the slaves of that time were prisoners of war, as we said. So Mansa Musa, his pilgrimage to Mecca went east, and his brother Mansa Abu Bakr II went west. His voyage to America went west. Now here's a word from our sponsor.
Hello, my name is Howard Dorsey. I'm 54 years old. I'm here to talk about my experience with Herbal Results. Um, I was getting sick, so I went to the doctor. And they told me that my blood pressure was high, my cholesterol was borderline or high. So I was very sick. You know, sometimes I thought I was dying at some point. And I ordered a bottle of olive leaf extract. This is how the bottle comes in. And within the first probably week and a half, 2 weeks, I checked my blood pressure and it was back down to normal. It was like 120 over 80. My cholesterol went down to 125. You know, I definitely believe that olive leaf extract from Herbal Results saved my life. And that's real. I mean, I recommend it to everyone in my family, my friends, and we've seen a lot of results in that manner as well.
Purchase now at herbalresults.net.
After all the supplies and equipment was ready, Mansa Abu Bakr II crossed the Atlantic Ocean in the year 1311. The journey was recorded in history, but no one knows if he reached America. However, evidence shows that West African Muslims had reached the continent of America long before the Europeans. According to African scholars and researchers, specifically researcher Gyesu Deswari and historian Ivan van Sertima, it is believed that Abu Bakr or other African explorers reached the Caribbean or the Central or South American continents. There were accounts of indigenous Americans stating that black people sailed to their lands with gold. Now, we do want to point out that yes, Mansa Musa and Mansa Abu Bakr II were Muslims, but also keep in mind, make no mistake about it, they would be considered black. They were not the Middle Eastern Muslims that we see today. They were black men, and today they would be considered black. So we want to make that absolutely clear. Yes, they were Muslims, but as we know, just because you're black doesn't mean you can't be a Muslim or a Hebrew or a Baptist or a Protestant. But we do want to make it clear that they were black people. These were black explorers. Make no mistake about it. Now, the strongest evidence of Abu Bakr's presence in America comes from Columbus himself, who is believed to be the first outsider reaching America in 1492. I emphasize that many of us are far beyond needing the validation of Europeans, but the fact is, Columbus's journal, he mentioned in his journal that Native Americans confirmed black skinned people had come from the southeast in boats, trading in gold tipped spears. The natives described the spearheads as guanin, a word for gold, in the Mandinkan, the language of the Mali Empire. Chemical analysis of the spearheads found that the gold most likely originated in West Africa. Columbus and his son also discovered that Native Americans used handkerchiefs like those used in West Africa. The European sailor also mentioned that Native American tribes wore the clothes similar to Muslim Moors of Spain. According to accounts by Christopher Columbus and Bartolome de las Casas, an abundance of West African spears gold, and many other artifacts existed. Several white scholars who support the argument that Europeans reached the Americas first disagree that Africans sailed to the Americas. Remember, the European historians have a history of rewriting history to make themselves seem superior, especially when it comes to their relationship with African people. So, what it boils down to is you believe whatever you choose to believe. But I just know that everything that we've been taught, when you hold it up against history, it doesn't seem to stand up, it quite stand up. So I'll just leave it at that. No one has ever known the fate of the Mansa Abu Bakr II's fleet. However, the signs confirm that the African Muslims are the first to reach America and not the European sailors. Mansa Abu Bakr II has been known as a rich king with a vast territory in the world, who devoted all his wealth and strength to the pursuit of knowledge and discoveries. His determination to reach the American continent clearly shows that the relationship between West Africa and America did not begin with slavery initiated by the European colonizers. The relationship between the two sides was established by Muslim sailors, black Muslim sailors, I might add, explorers, and kings on a mission of friendship and peace. Again, black Muslim sailors and kings on a mission of friendship and peace. And to this day, his death remains a mystery. The Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where Black history is every day. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, thou art rich.